Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us. One big happy family. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, your loving support. Always thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'd like to mention, if the video is too fast for you on any of them, in the description box there's a link, 2-minute video, how to slow down the speed of the video, and also to turn your closed caption on. So the stitches I'm calling will be written down here. You can pause, read, and take notes. I don't write patterns. I get asked that a lot. For the most times, I use 2.75 hooks, depending upon the thread I'm using, 3.5, or the pattern that I want to create to go bigger or not. And that's what you should do. For people that have tight stitch, use a size of hook bigger or 2 size bigger. And for people that have a loose stitch, you should go a little bit 1 or 2 size smaller. So a small one to tuck in loose ends and a pair of scissors. I do have a private crochet group that you're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile. Also follow me on my crochet page on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you're stuck on any projects, you could always message me through there. I'd like to mention that a lot of you sometimes ask me about my threads. These are Portugal threads. I am in Europe. They're 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. And they sell, it's $12, making the exchange, $12, 100 grams, which are balls like this. Okay, it's about 300 to 325 yards. Minimum of order of 6 balls. Okay, so we're going to get started. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It's free of charge. You don't pay for that, and it helps us creators tremendously. And if you watch the video, and if you're not a creator or don't crochet, because I know some of you don't but love to watch my videos, please do give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if there is short commercials, just watch the little small commercials. I don't want you to be wasting your time in 5-10 minute commercial, but it does help the channel again itself. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Thank you so much. And for the women that have been donating, for the women in need of thread, thank you from the bottom of my heart. And for your tips also, thank you so much. And for the ones that are considering to do so to help the women in need of thread, please consider so. My PayPal account is in the description box also. If you want to give it through there, if you want to give it through the little thank you bag underneath the video, you can. The only difference is that YouTube takes 30% of that money that you're donating. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone, so we're going to create these little 3D flowers. They're small, they're not that big, but in a granny shape around it. I will be using this for a pattern that I have in mind to create. So I got a little bit left over of the mixed green and this mixed yellow and orange, which makes it beautiful. Nice combo mix. And 8mm pearl bead, whatever you want to call it. Just make sure that the middle little hole is the right size for your thread, because sometimes they could be 8mm, but the hole is extremely small, so you got to make sure that. These are 4-ply 100% cotton thread, similar to Aunt Lydia number 3. Mine's a little bit thinner, so my patterns become a little bit smaller than Aunt Lydia number 3. 2.75 hook, a small one to tuck in loose ends, and a pair of scissors. And what you can do is, if you have similar yellow, you can alternate. If you have a multicolor of whatever, with the official color of whatever the multicolor has. So you can put one of each and it will turn out just as beautiful. So very fast tutorial, very simple. Please give a thumbs up on the video if you enjoy it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel. Thank you so much, everybody. Let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is you could do the magic circle. I'm going to do this time the chain because I know a lot of you have a hard time with it. So slip stitch knot 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I don't want it too loose because I don't want a big hole on the center, so I can have my bead perfectly there. So slip stitch through it. I'm going to come back in and do a single and 1, 2 chain. Come back in again, that circle, and another double crochet. So I have 2 double crochets. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. My second double crochet here, I'm going to work 4 more double crochets because my 3 chain makes 1 double crochet already. So now I have 3 total. My first chain, 2 double crochet, 4, try to hide this thread at the same time, 5. I'm coming back in that circle with a single. So I have my first paddle, 1, 2 chain, coming back in that circle, always creating the 2 double crochets. So I have my second double crochets, always groups of 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain again, coming in that double crochet. So turn your pattern a bit. So I have 2 double crochets, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets, coming in that circle again, single. So we're just going to keep repeating, and you'll have to keep pushing it here this way so you can fit all 8 paddles in there. Okay, we need 8 of them. So single, 2 chain, come back in, double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain, come in and do 4 more double crochet. So you'll have the total of 5 double crochets, all inside of that second double crochet that we did. And then come back in the circle, do your single, so I have 3 paddles. Then you just push them towards each other, okay? I'll come back to you on my last one, which is 8 paddles, okay? So single, 2 chain, and then double crochet. We must do the second double crochet, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, come in, create total of 5 double crochets, 3, 4, and 5. That's including with the 3 chain. Come back in, single. So I have 4 paddles, okay? We're going to have a total of 8, so continue from there. Okay, everyone, so we finished the single, the last one. Now it seems like a little bit tight, of course. 2, 4, 6, 8 paddles. Where we have that first double crochet, remember we did the group of 2 and we used the second one for those 5 double crochets. So I've closed in on the single where we first started. I'm going to come in that space with slip stitch, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to come behind it and go into the next one, just right on the space. I mean, the space is big enough. And again, you can do a single, you can do a slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, into the next one. We're going to do this so we can have 8 loops on the back to work. Okay, 1, 2, 3 chain, and into the next one. Just make sure that you don't miss any because they're so crowded up. But they get fixed once you start putting those chains in. 1, 2, 3, it starts getting more smarter, the little flower, right? Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so last 3 chain, I'm going to come exactly on my first chain where we first started, right? We have that first chain, and I'm going to close it with slip stitch. I'm going to continue to come on that same chain, single, just single, and then come back in and do 4 double crochets. So I have 2 double crochets, 3 and 4, and back in with single. So we start with single 4 double crochets and single. 1 chain space, come back into the next one, single, and again 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let me just confirm if I did 4 or 5. I can't even remember. It's just so much. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay. So 4 double crochets, coming back in the same space, and single. So into the next one. 1 chain space between these petals, single, and 4 double crochets. 2, 3, and 4. And then back in, single. So we're going to do this all the way around. Of course, we'll fix it once we are done with the flower, right? So I'll meet you at the end. We need to have 8 petals back here also. Okay, everyone. So I've done my 8th petal. I finished my single on the last one. I'm going to come from behind on that single on the next petal, and I'm going to bring the string to the back. Okay, we need to create loops again to do the granny square with the green. Okay, so bring your string to the back, and now this time I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Between both petals back here, we have that last single we did. So I'm going to grab the loop on one petal and the loop on the next one. I'm going to come in and do single. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Again, between the back petals, we have this loop, which is the last loop of this petal, and then the first loop here. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to do single. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. And again, the same thing. Grab both loops. That's from the single we did. A single on one petal, single on the other. So I grab the loops. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back here, the very last loop and the first loop on the other petal right next to it, single. So we're going to do this 8 times. Then you're going to come to the last one. You're going to hook it in on your first chain here and make a knot, cut off, and then we're coming in with the green. Okay, so I'm on my last one. I want to make sure that you understood. So I'm going to come in that first chain we did. Okay, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. Okay, slip stitch. Going to give it a little bit of strength so I can make a few knots here and there, just to make sure that nothing comes apart. So now you're supposed to have these 8 little loops in the back. I'm just going to pull the leftover string, at least a bit, through the loops back here, because this way, when we're working on top of them with the green, we know that nothing is going to come apart. Okay, and then you can cut the excess off. Okay, and then once we finish the green, the square, the granny square, then we can fix all of the other little petals, right? Okay, so multicolored green. You can use whatever green you'd like. Slip stitch knot. You can come in any 4 chain in the back. I'm going to start with my single 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. So we need to build the 4 corners of the granny square. That means we're going to do shells of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet in the same 4 chain space. So I have my first corner of the granny square. 1 chain space going into the next 4 chain, and I'm going to create 3 double crochets only. Okay, and it's going to be like this all the way around. One chain and my second corner of the granny square with the shell. So 3 double crochets, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets. So that will be my first granny, the second square of the granny or corner. My goodness, Maggie, get it together. Okay, next space. 3 double crochet only and 1 chain space. Next space, creating the third shell, third corner, 2 chain and 3 more double crochet in the same space. 1 chain in the next space, 3 double crochet. So always 3 double crochet, shell, 3 double crochet, shell, 1 chain space, creating my last corner of the granny square with the shell, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet, 1 chain space, and my last 3 double crochets because we started with a shell, remember? So 1, 2, and 3, 1 chain space, don't forget. Now we're going to come here on the last. This is applicable on anything you want to create that is small and delicate. So I'm going to give it a bit of string because I need to make sure we tie that in properly. We don't want to have anything come apart. I'm going to pull that string to the back, bring it down a bit. Coming in through the loops back here. You could even make a knot or so if you want to be more extremely secure. I'm okay with it already. Okay, so we have the granny square built in. Now I'm going to cut a bit of that yellow that we used for the flower, the green, the yellow and orange. And my scissor is really going blind. And I've pulled my string through the bead, the pearl, and now I'm going to line it up, of course. So I'm going to put my hook through the back. I'm going to grab my thread and bring it to the back. Make sure you hold it so your bead doesn't come apart. Make sure you also line it up. Oops, line it up properly. So you want to make sure that you're going in the right direction. You don't want your bead all crooked. And I'm going to pull this one to the back also. If I can get all the threads in there, that's my biggest problem. I always use this smaller hook. It's too small. I should use like a size bigger. But I am so used to this hook, it's unbelievable. I never learned my lesson, right? You know, when you're used to something, it's kind of hard to get rid of it because you're just comfortable after so many years with it, right? Okay, so we pull that one to the back also. Hold the other string so nothing comes apart. Okay, and now what you do is you make 3 or 4 knots just to make sure that nothing is going tight it well, nothing's going to come apart. We don't want to lose no beads, especially if you're giving somebody something they're going to wash it or you're selling, because I do have a lot of people that create to sell. They make a living off of that. Okay, so I'll just tuck in whatever threads, whatever I have back here. Now I'm just going to pull this through a little bit here, this one to this side, and then cut the excess, and then just to make sure that nothing is going to come apart. Okay, pull this little thread. That was a knot that I had there from leftover threads. I'm just gonna tuck it in over here a little bit. Okay, and then just cut the excess. So, and now your purl's on, everything's done, and you can, let's say you're building a project like myself. I'm going to build quite a few of these. I don't know how many exactly yet, but it's about 16 of them I'm sure that I will need for the next project that I'm going to create. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. I'm sure you're going to really like that project. And but I won't give you an exact amount because I'm not sure. What I am sure, it's going to take at least that much. So I'm just going to build quite a few of them. And if I see that I need to build more, then I'll build more. But just to get me going, okay? So thank you so much, everybody. I will see you in the next tutorial. That most probably will be the project itself already. And thank you for being here. Until next time, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.